Good evening, everyone. I, Renu Chawla, Project Assistant, welcome you all on behalf of Anon Global Foundation for the final presentation session for the 15 days internship program offered by Anon. I am sure all the interns must have had their best of efforts in this 15 days training program and has an extraordinary experience while working on their topics. Now, I welcome our jury members. Major Dr. Meeta Singh. She has been working towards the upliftment of the girl child in Rajasthan for 18 years with at least 3 out of 33 districts showing improvement. She has also worked on several issues combating violence against women, legal literacy, health and health policies. Dr. Singh serves on various committees of NGOs and the government, including the Committee to Update and Revise the Rajasthan State Policy for Women 2015. She has been honored with several awards, including the Outstanding Woman Award by the National Commission for Women, Government of India. I welcome you, ma'am. And I would also love to introduce Dr. Namita Sharma. She is a dynamic administrator and head of school with over 24 years of teaching and 14 years of administrative experience in senior secondary schools of high repute of New Delhi and Haryana. She has been one of CBSE Inspection Committee members for Accord of Affiliation and performed the responsibility as Center Superintendent. I thank both the jury members for their valuable time. We have team Sterling Dopamine with us who will be sharing their ideas on the topic combat depression through ventilation. The team is mentored by Anashwara Ravi. We have with us Deepak Agarwal from Delhi, Sukhmani Bhatia from Karnataka, Vaishnavi Tripathi from Uttar Pradesh, and Dilraj from Punjab. Now, I request the team to please come forward and kindly start the presentation.
So, good evening to all the members of Anand Group Foundation. Today, our team Sterling Dopamine is going to present on the topic combat depression through ventilation. Um, as Renu Chawla ma'am already introduced us, so I will continue with the topic. So, this presentation consists of topics prelude, our lookover, lookout result, our understanding, and the last creative space. Firstly, our team member will walk you through the entire presentation by one. Firstly, I, Vaishnavi Tripathi, will give you a brief information about what is depression. Depression comes through the word Latin depressor or deprimer, which can be split into two words, which means de, which means down, primer, which means press. Depression is an all-over spread illness, as we all know, that contrarily influence how individual feels, the manner in which they think, they act, and the way they express. There are gauges that in excess of 300 million people who are already diseased by this depression. In this, individuals are influenced by discouragement around the world. And this condition is additionally perhaps the most widely recognized mental issues in USA. An individual who is discouraged likewise regularly the sensation of blame, uselessness, and vulnerability. They present don't enjoy what they do, they usually do. Going out with their partners, sleeping disorder, early daytime arousing, and sleeping late at night, which was not normal for them. These sentiments aren't only a passing state of mind that disappear in a couple of days. All things considered, state individual for a quite long time. Therefore, the most pleased an individual throughout span of a half of month or smidden of the time. Now, I will hand over to my teammate Deepak.
So now we come on the statistics. So as per some census of American Psychiatric Association, depression is the leading cause of disability as measured fourth leading contributor to the global disease 2000s. As we know, pandemic just hit the world. By the year of 2020, in 2020, depression projected as second place in Danish calculation in all the ages and sexes. That I explain what is Danish calculation. Danish calculation is the disease-adjusted life years. They are the total number of years an individual lasted because of disabilities and illnesses. So, as per Danish calculation, the depression is seen in mostly in 15 to 44 years of the category in both the sexes. As just pandemic hit the world and it increased the mental illness and just worsens the mental well-being of the individuals. Uh, Over to you, Mani.
Thank you, Deepak. Now we'll be looking at the causes of depression. So we are looking at 4 major causes of depression that are biochemistry, genetics, environmental factors, and personality. So the first one, biochemistry, is looking at the biological and chemistry aspects that occur within the body and lead to depression. Now, one may wonder how is it that depression is induced within the body? So it is possible because of hormonal imbalances that can be onset because of menopause, childbirth, or thyroid problems. It can also be caused by other mental disorders based on our understanding that there is a high comorbidity between depressive and anxiety disorders. So if someone has anxiety disorder, there is a high possibility of them having some sort of depressive disorder. Moving ahead, we're looking at genetics. So genetics is also looking at the biological component of genes. We say that depression runs in families, which means to say that if someone in the family has depression, it increases the risk of the other family members to have depression or other mental illnesses as well. For example, in a study, it was found that if one identical twin goes on to develop depression at a later point in his life, the other twin is also likely to have depression, and this risk is increased by 70%. Moving on, we're looking at environmental factors. So when we say environmental factors, it looks at the continuous exposure to violence, neglect, abuse, or poverty, which makes people more vulnerable to depression. This can be understood in the light of the pandemic that made people feel insecure and induced anxiety because of the uncertainty, which also increased the cases of depression. Lastly, we're looking at personality. So people who have low self-esteem are more likely to develop depression. And even those people who are overwhelmed by stress and have less ability to be resilient. In terms of thinking patterns, we see that there are certain people who think positively and optimistically, and certain people who think negatively and pessimistically. So the latter people are more likely to develop depression.
Thank you, Sukmini. Now I will further explain you with more causes of depression. So I will start with my first cause, poor nutrition. One factor that may contribute to depression is a person's dietary habits, which will determine which nutrients they consume. A 2017 study found out that people suffering from depression, moderate to severe conditions, could be improved if they are provided with nutritional sessions and they ate healthy full diet for 12 weeks. So they concluded that uh, people with these symptoms of depression could be rectified by providing a nutrition diet and addressing their diet. Second is drugs. By comparison to being drunk or high is expressed as a state of depression because a person here becomes used to an unnaturally and unattainable levels of neurotransmitter release in the brain. So drugs and alcohol can cause two major depressive tendencies such as consequences, and second is biological. Under consequences, addiction can cause many devastating consequences in a person's life, such as a loss of jobs, relationships, and shame, guilty, etc. Second is biological. Under biological, substances such as drugs and alcohol are highly addictive because they trigger the release of unnaturally artificial release of neurotransmitters in the brain, and which further leads to increase the release of artificially inflated feel good feelings. Third is stress. You may not feel good sometimes. You may suffer your relationship problems. Your productivity may decrease, and you may not become unable to get back onto the track again. And For this, you can get help of self-stress help relievers, such as you can start engaging yourself in some type of activity, such as physical activity or art and craft or music, and manage your schedule. You can do activities which you like and get your brain diverted to that. Fourth is brain chemistry imbalance. Sometimes a person going through depression is expressed to a condition back to an event known as traumatic event, where sometimes a person becomes unable to find out the reason why he is being depressed, and unaware of the cause, uh, by which his stages of depression increases. So researchers found out that people with too little amount of certain substances known as neurotransmitters in the brain could contribute to this cause of depression. So resorting the chemical balances in the brain will help to alleviate these symptoms. And my last cause is physical health related issues. So physical health, a poor physical health can cause devastating changes in our mental health, and similarly, mental health always have negative impacts on the physical health and relate and can cause more related issues to our physical health. So the foundings of NHS in 1948, National Health Service, founded that physical health and mental health have largely been disconnected. So now I will hand over again to Sukhmani.
Thank you, Dilraj. So now we'll be presenting the short movie that we made on our topic.
This movie shows two parts, without ventilation and with ventilation. I hope you enjoy this movie. Without ventilation.
Hey Vishu, how are you? कैसे हो आप?
Hi D, what's up?
What are you doing? Are you free for a while? I want to share a thing with you.
Sure, go ahead, I'm free.
अरे यार मैं थोड़ा सा आजकल मतलब सही ट्रैक पे नहीं हूँ. मेरे यहाँ घर पे रोज लड़ाई होती है एंड उसी बात को लेकर मतलब मेरे मन में कई ख्याल आते हैं. आप समझ सकते हो.
अच्छा, क्या हुआ? क्यों घर में क्या हुआ? क्यों लड़ाई हो रही है?
अरे यार मेरे घर वालों को मुझ पे बहुत उम्मीदें थी एंड दे हैव सेड टोल्ड मी टू गिव एन एग्जाम बट आई फेल्ड टू डू इट एंड नाउ आई फील रिग्रेट दैट आई हैवंट पास्ड दैट एग्जाम एंड मेरे काफी मतलब
I'm so
टेंशन है.
sorry.
अरे यार
Okay, अच्छा.
समझने की कोशिश करो यार. मतलब काफी डिप्रेस्ड हूँ एंड आई थॉट आई वुड बी बेटर आफ्टर टॉकिंग टू यू, बट आप तो सुन भी नहीं रहे हो मुझे लगता है.
यार
लगे हुए हो.
नहीं अरे I'm just like मेरे में थोड़ा सा मैसेज आ गया था. I'm saying कि यार it's okay, it happens, ठीक है. तो इतना होता रहता है कि मतलब चलता रहता है. आप पेरेंट्स से बात होती है, पेरेंट्स ऑफ कोर्स एक्सपेक्टेशन रखते हैं, तो इस पे इतना बुरा मत फील करो, पूरा फील ही मत करो.
आप नहीं समझोगे.
क्या कर लोगे आप
चलो
ज्यादा करके भी.
leave it. Otherwise, what's
अरे
up?
मैं समझ रही हूँ, मैंने भी एग्जाम दिया था यार.
So, are you doing good in your life?
Good. Everything is good.
Okay. Chalo, I will talk to you later on.
Of course.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.
Hi Deep, what's up? How are you?
Hi, so actually I want to share something with you. Are you free to talk to me right now?
Sure, Deepa. I'm always here to listen to you.
I'm experiencing some depressing thoughts right now. Actually, I recently gave an exam and I haven't got good marks in that. So now I thought that I'm good for nothing and I'm worried about my future. So I need someone to talk about all of these things.
First of all, Deepa, thank you so much for trusting me with the concerns that are probably bothering you. And I would just like to say that you are so strong and courageous to be able to go through something like that. And, being able to share that with me, I can truly understand your concerns. Coming to the marks aspect of it, I think this is just one exam, right? You will have so many other exams, and it's not that you never do well. You always do well in your exams. Just think about how you've been able to cope in the pandemic and, still been able to take these exams. Now, I know you may have not scored well, but you will have many more opportunities to do well. If you think your parents are being, people who might be bothering you with respect to your marks, talk to them when you get an opportunity and tell them how it makes you feel when they talk to you in a condescending tone. And I think they will understand. I know that they're very understanding. And whatever works out, let me know and we can discuss this further.
So you are right. Your words are just encourage me that there's a chance to enhance my performance in future examinations. And there's nothing like to afraid for. Everyone has problems in life and it's our responsibility to how can we cope up with them. I am very much happy to have a friend like you who understand me and who guide me in the problems and who are ready to listening my everything, like anything to, with whom I can share. So thank you for being that much supportive. And I'm just speechless. I don't know what to say now. But thank you once again.
I'm so glad, Deep, that whatever I said actually helped you. And I'm always here for you, always here to lend my ear to you. And यार क्या इतनी formality, मतलब इतना thank you, इतनी formality तो रिश्तेदार भी नहीं करते जितनी तू कर रहा है.
हाँ okay, हो जाते हैं कभी-कभी संटी. It's okay. So I have to go for the message right now. So I will talk to you later and thanks once again.
Okay, sure, Deep. Bye. So through this movie, we were basically trying to show what happens when someone is trying to ventilate and the other person is not accepting of it. So this was seen particularly in the case of Dilraj, where he was venting his concerns and Vaishnavi was continuously busy on her phone and didn't bother to exactly understand his concerns. But when the same issues were addressed by Deepak, we saw that Sukhmani tried to understand what was happening and use the basic counseling skills of empathy, confidentiality, and paraphrasing to understand Deepak's concerns. And also we see how Deepak is very understanding, and before he went, he asked Sukhmani if she's comfortable and in the space to take his load. So this is what we were trying to tell through the movie.
This movie shows two parts. Without ventilation.
Moving ahead, we are looking at our understanding and the research that we did and what is our understanding of the same. So now we see that there are different ways to treat the feelings and symptoms of stress, anxiety, and depression. One of them being psychotherapy. This is what professionals like clinical psychologists, counselors, and psychotherapists engage in. Two major forms to treat depression, and the one which is used prominently is CBT. CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy. It looks at two aspects, that is cognitive and the behavioral aspects. So the cognitive aspects like negative thinking patterns, self-deprecating beliefs, all these things is what is looked at in the cognitive aspect of it. When we move to the behavioral aspect, we see that people with depression usually refuse to go out, or they usually do not prefer to maintain hygiene because they do not have the motivation to get up from their bed. So therapists try to engage in these two facets of the person and help them overcome depression. Secondly, we're looking at interpersonal therapy. This is based on the understanding that depression can also arise due to relationship problems and troubles in any relationship, whether that be with family, with friends, or partner. And in this particular form of therapy, the therapist tries to reduce the concerns in a relationship that may be causing depression and thereby reduces the symptoms of depression. Moving ahead.
As it becomes very important for us to cope up with depressive stage, so it is in so for this you can do it by yourself by following some simple methods, because during depression you may feel helpless. So now I will explain you some methods. So first method is engagement with physical activity. A cohort study was done over a period of time over persons suffering from depressions and having those symptoms. So it was discovered that people engaging in some physical activity were able to tackle these symptoms more efficiently and effectively. So for this, you just need to get into a routine work, make a gentle schedule, and make your goals and plans so clear that you can get back onto the track again. And as exercise, we all know that it is a common thing that provides us a well-being and a good healthy life. So and it also helps to helps to release in the increase of happy hormone known as serotonin, and helps the brain in positive ways to rewire itself again. And so second is role of social support in coping. Social support provides us protective factor in the fighting against these symptoms. So for this, we have our family and friends as sources available for it. We can share with them all the concerns going in on our minds. So to feel less and to feel less anxious and to get away from the stress. So, however, the social support becomes a very important in our lives, because It can help to decrease the negative impact of the events in our lives and our physical health, and increase the overall life. Second slide, please. During civilization, music was being used to treat body and soul, because as many studies showed that music is the only way to get motivate most of the time, because it activates all the parts of the brain. So as we can see here, it has been written that in a study, individuals with depression were exposed to music for 50 minutes a day, every day for 8 weeks, compared to other groups that was not exposed to music and were treated solely through psychotherapy. At the end of the music therapy group has less depressive symptoms than psychotherapy group. So we can conclude from here that music is the only way and the best way to feel motivated if you are feeling depressive and alone. So it was also found that patients with low and medium grade depression can use music to enhance the effect of psychological support. So now I will hand over to Deepak.
Yeah. So here we see the role of gratitude to combat depression. So first of all, we have to understand the meaning of gratitude. The meaning of gratitude is that feel being thankful for whatever you have instead of worrying about the things that you don't have. A sense of gratitude led to higher levels of perceived social support and lower level of stress and depression. Where gratitude seems to like foster social support and protect people from stress and depression. So see, when we being gratitude and thankful for whatever you have, you are always think blessed. That you are blessed, and you don't get jealous from others that you don't have this and that. So move to the next slide, please. Yeah. So the other method to coping up with depression is via art. So here we see that engaging in art boosts self-exploration. So when we engage ourselves in art and craft, anything like that, so it divides our mind from the depressing phase of our life, and it creates self-exploration, self-expression, communication, understanding, explanation, and many more. So art is the better alternative to cope up with depression, as art therapy with adolescents with depression can be successful modality to treat, because those who are going through depressing phase thus control communication, feel omniscient and externalize problems. But when they use art, they express themselves, and which one can be a better thing to ventilate for themselves. So moving to the next method to ventilating, that is battling depression through dance modality. So here, when we dance and enjoy, the plasma serotonin concentration increase in our mind and group that participated in the dance. So dance may stabilize the sympathetic nervous system. So here, sympathetic nervous system is the part of autonomic nervous system which activates when we fight and flight mode. When we are in fight and flight mode, so dancing may stabilize those sympathetic nervous system, and it will be a benefit and beneficial
Since I think Deepak has some issues, I'll be continuing. Right. So, like Deepak said, that when we engage in dance as an expressive form of ventilating, it increases the level of serotonin in the mind and stabilizes the sympathetic nervous system that activates the flight of fight response. Therefore, the body moves away from the fight and flight response and affects the brain and reduces the cortisol level, increasing the levels of dopamine and serotonin, which actually help in overcoming depression. Over to Vaishnavi.
So, what are intrapersonal technique to combat depression? What do you mean by intrapersonal? First of all, intrapersonal is like what you can do for yourself, by yourself, for you, not the help of with others. So, let me give you some tips how you can do it. First is twinning in. Twinning in is like a happy sensation, gives you butterfly. Sad make you feel tired, angry make increase your heartbeat. So let your body accept every feeling rather than pressing it down. Try to express it. Allow yourself to feel what you are feeling and know that it's not your fault. Try to notice how distress and calmness feels in your body. Next is mindfulness. Mindfulness is basically, you can say, how you can full your mind without distressing yourself. Doing meditation is one of the best thing you can do for yourself as coping from depression. Meditation calms your mind a lot rather than activating your distress hormones. Indulge in some regular activities with your complete heart to ignore negative thoughts like exercising and drawing. Next slide, please. Your sleep completes you. If you sleep properly, you feel more light and less depressed. Sleeping 8 hours is correct norms for sound body and sound mind. Do your best to stick to your sleep schedule. Next is dietary habits. If you think the most effective way to cope from ventilation is your dietary habits, try to eat nutritious things like apple, some nuts at least once a day. Junk food may give you like happiness for hours, but can't provide you nutrition, what your body required the most. Next slide. Sense of control. Things which are not able to control cause anxiety. So do things which you can easily control, like doing making bed, painting, dancing without any step coordination. Move yourself without calculating moves. Next is setting a routine. Very important part of combating depression is setting your routine. Consistency make things easier. So your timetable, make a to-do list what you are going to do in a one day. If you can complete 20% of the thing you are writing or you are doing, then you are one step forward for coping from depression. Over to you.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. Moving ahead, we are looking at the lookout results, which is basically the survey we conducted. So to provide a basic information about the survey, it had 15 questions, which were closed-ended. We were attempting to comprehend what people thought about depression and how they responded to such feelings. We have received precisely 201 responses from participants across India, and we'll be very happy to share the responses with the jury. So the first section of the survey was trying to understand the demographic details of the participants in terms of age and gender. As we can see, majority of the respondents fall in the age category of 11 to 20 or 21 to 30. This indicates that our respondents are either students or people who are working. In terms of gender, we see that most of the respondents are female. This is primarily because this was the population that was easily available to us. Since Deepak is not here, I'll be continuing. So the first question was, according to you, whom would you prefer sharing your thoughts and feelings with? So this question tried to understand when people are going through phases of stress or anxiety or sadness, whom do the people share their feelings and thoughts with? So as we can see, most people wanted to share it with their friends. Then people wanted to share it with all that is family, friends, and mental health professionals. And this basically is trying to say that if we see majority of them actually want to share it with someone, but in a society like India, when it is shunned away, these responses are surprising and make us really happy.
So next question is, how often do you think that you can count on your family and friends to share how you feel about certain things? Majority of people choose oftenly, which is very good positive reaction. If you, it is important to ventilate. Either it is your family member or it is your friend. They can help you. Mostly, they are the best option to ventilation. And so, if this is the response, it is a very good response. Over to you, Dilraj.
Question 3, how frequently do you express your concerns among a group of close family and or friends? So majority of the people choose to often or sometimes. So we can conclude from here that most of the persons suffering from the symptoms of depression or something else do not always express their feelings that are going inside them to others, and they try to hide them, and they are unable to get back from the stress they are on their mind. Second question.
The fourth question was, how frequently does talking to your family and or friends about your concerns make you feel heavy, less heavy and stressed? So as we can see, majority of them, majority of the respondents have said that talking to someone about their concerns makes them feel less heavy and stressed. This reminds me, when we were working on this, it reminded me of this kahavat in Hindi which says, "Dard baatne se kam hote hain." So the respondents exactly showed us that.
So question 5, how frequently would you prefer talking to complete strangers over your family and or friends about your issues? So majority of the respondents choose never. So we ask this question as if a stranger approaches to a person suffering from depression or something issues inside them, they would she will talk to them or not. So we can see from here that they will not choose complete strangers over their family or friends, and they will try to communicate with their friends more often. Second question.
Yeah. So, how frequently do you feel that you are not alone in sufferings due to different reasons once you engage in freely talking about your concerns? So, here we can see the majority of the persons are answered with often, where others answered with always, sometimes, really never. So, we can see that most of the people thought that they are not alone in suffering once they came in freely talking way. But when we are not talking to someone and we are not venting out our expressions, it feels like we are always alone in that. So this is what this pie chart shows. Next, please.
So the seventh question is, on what frequency has the pandemic been an impediment to your conversation with family and or friend? So mostly people, majority of participants choose sometimes, because yes, as you say, physical distancing caused social distancing. Yes, it caused a lot of distress over people because they are not close to the person who they used to ventilate the most. And yes, the this pie chart shows how much this pandemic affected people's mental health.
The eighth question of our survey was, according to you, which age group can be suspected to have the highest rate of depression? So as we can see, the respondents think in a majority that it's either 21 to 30 or 11 to 20, which means that they think that it is mostly either the students or the people who are working, which can be primarily because when we understand these two age categories, we see there are a lot of transitions in their life, particularly in the age group after college, because either some of them work or they have they get married, so there are a lot of transitions in their life.
So ninth question was how many hours do you sleep? Sleeping is the best medicine. It helps in every aspect. So majority of people choose 6 to 7 hours, which is very good. As researches are going on, and doctors also say 6 to 8 hours are the best time to sleep in every aspects for sound body and sound mind. So yes, this chart, pie chart is very positive as concerned to sleeping order.
So here, our 10th question is, how frequently do you think social media makes you feel low and upset? So here, most of the people answered with sometimes, whereas others answered with always, often, rarely, and never. So here, we can conclude that people often feel or sometimes feel jealous when they scroll on social media because they think that they are not having a good lifestyle like others, and others are having better lifestyle than them, and they think about the materialistic things. But this shows this pie chart shows that not always people think in that style. Next, please.
11th question, do poor diet and sleep patterns and lifestyle like not having enough exercise cause mental stress and depression? So majority of the respondents from choose always and often. So we can conclude from this pie chart that poor diet and not having enough sleep and lifestyle changes like not having enough exercise, not engaging in some physical activities can cause stress and mental health. So for this, you can make your schedule, set a schedule that you can do meditation on daily basis, start having physical activities, and have proper sleep and have a proper diet. Next question.
The next question, the 12th one, says, how frequently do you believe that depression can be cured through lifestyle changes? Here we see that the majority of people have opted for either always, often, or sometimes. This indicates that people actually believe that feelings of depression or anxiety or stress can actually be lowered by bringing in lifestyle changes. When we look at the word lifestyle changes, we understand that these can be changes in either sleeping habits, sleeping hygiene, or dietary habits, or physical exercise. So, lifestyle changes is a very holistic aspect.
So, how frequently do you think engaging in small tasks like getting up from the bed, bathing, etc., helps you feel positive and motivated? Majority of people choose 38 point often, which is very good because changes come in small steps. You do things which give you self satisfaction, and it is a very good thing. If you work with small and you success in it, your brain actually feel motivated and positive. If you are doing drawing, dancing, this give your body a positive sound, which is very good.
Moving on, the 14th question. How frequently do activities like meditation and other mindfulness have a positive impact on our mental health? So, we've often heard that meditation and mindfulness impact our body and our mind positively. And this can be seen in the results of the survey of this particular question, wherein people have chosen either always, often, or sometimes. And engaging in meditation and mindfulness often offers people a space in the brain to accommodate new aspects of life and makes them feel less stressed.
So this is the last question of our survey, which is how frequently do you engage in art and craft or listening to music when you feel low and upset? So most of the majority and respondents chose always and often. So as we can conclude from this pie chart that engaging in art and craft or listening to music can help you feel motivated and to tackle these types of symptoms of depression. As many studies have also showed that music is the best way to feel motivated and settle down the concerns going in your mind. Next slide.
Yeah. So here we have our understanding that what we understood from this survey and from the research, that is the conclusion part, which is our second last slide. So please next slide, please. Yeah. So first point of conclusion is that combating depression through ventilation by engaging in recreational activities. So here, as we mentioned earlier as well, that engaging yourself in small activities like creative activities and anything make divides your mind from the depressing phase of your life. But when you engage yourself with activities, you can process your depression part and you can always feel better. Next point, please.
So second point is sharing concern that one might be going through with others. That can be friends, family, mental health professionals. Your feelings matter. Society made us to think that venting out shows you as weak, but no, this is wrong. Telling about your issues can help you more free. Your burden will be less to handle alone. But it depends whom you are comfortable with. If family, then your parents or siblings, and friends with you can trust. And if you are not comfortable with both of them, you can contact to mental health professionals. Choose wisely whom you can share. Next point, please.
So each individual can have healthy but different ways to deal with stress, anxiety, and depression, which means to say that there are several ways of actively coping with stressors in the environment. And each people may have a different way of coping in an active and healthy manner. For example, some may engage in singing, some may engage in dance, or some may engage in focusing on their physical habits. So we see here that we see the individual differences in dealing with stressors, but all of them are healthy. Moving ahead, we also look at how the pandemic has been an impediment in engaging in conversations that offer a space safe for ventilation. We see that the idea of physical distancing was promoted in the pandemic, but it also led to a social distancing. So it'll be I think wise to say that physical distancing also led to social distancing and pull spaces away from people where they could vent.
So the last point we can conclude is that sometimes people do not need words to help. So actions speak louder than words. So a few minutes of yours can help someone's concerns and help them to feel motivated and get back into their life. So at the end, one warm smile and one gesture may be a helping hand for others. The love, care, and support that you provide to others can have a positive experience on their physical and mental health. Next slide.
Vaishnavi, please unmute.
Sorry. So moving on to the last slide, which is creative space. Actually, in this slide, we try to help through by creativity. How you ventilate through creativity. Like people draw when they feel sad or angry, happy. People dance when they're sad and angry. From this slide, we are going to work on how to ventilate. So Sukmani and I have did some work on this, and we are trying to show how creativity helps you to ventilate.
Please allow me to share another screen. So this is something that I created. This is a painting. Now I'm not a champion at painting, but this was basically where I was trying to sort of ventilate and try to tell people that our life is made of two things: brightness and phases of lowness and phases of positivity. And we only realize the value of what is positive and happy in our life once we undergo the feeling and the phases of being sad and low. And I mean, both of these feelings are a natural part of our life and should be dealt with motivation. Over to Vaishnavi.
So I have created a painting and a poem, which is a combo. This painting is basically, I'm not a good painter, but I try to explain what I wanted to. This is two phase how society, if society accept a person or if society is not accepting a person. So I wrote a small poem related to this. If I try to explain what I was trying to explain. My mom told me I'm a sunshine, but dad told me you are just a baby who cry. Keep thousand stories in my mind, bit puzzled where to start or where to end. I grabbed a piece of paper and drew my heart out. It hurts, closed in words, my window are shut, cause they told me not to but. I hate chirping birds, cause sound I don't want to hear around. I'm sorry, I don't vent. I'm sorry, I don't talk. I'm sorry cause I say sorry a lot. I'm sorry I'm bothering you. But can you stop my thoughts? I'm strong, but it feels so wrong. So in the end, I kept it quiet, let my feelings to die, cause it a lot to type. Thank you. Over to you, Sukmani.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. Lastly, I would like to end by a poem again. So this is a poem that I wrote, and it was written during the times when I was going through something very severe in my life, and it kept pulling me back. So here it goes. As I feel warm and sheltered in my charcoal black comforter, the cacophony of my fierce alarm shakes my entire body. Physically awake, but mentally exhausted and drained out. Circumambient feelings of detachment and demotivation overcome me. Instantaneously, I comprehended a beautiful day stood before me. The realization that I had to yield productivity felt soothing. Surprisingly, because this feeling appeared once in a blue moon. Trusting my positive instincts, I planned to work on my mental health. Positivity and self care were the top priorities of the day. Treating myself with a bunch of my favorite movies and albums, I acquired the knowledge that I could be happy and kind to myself and everyone. But it all began with a single step of validating my emotions, learning that dedication was a large part in the process of healing. It was a mere start, but it felt genuinely, phenomenally liberating. Thank you. Over to Dilraj.
Now we may like to express our thanks to all the jury members present over here, and I will also wish to express my gratitude towards our mentor Anshwarya Ravi for providing us encouragement at each stage. We faced many difficulties, but we worked as a team and tackled those situations. And as we know that there are no endings for anything, so I also wish to thank you to all the Anon Global Foundation members, so that they provided us this opportunity of doing this internship with YWCA. That's all.
Thank you, team Sterling Dopamine, for this wonderful presentation. Now, I would like to request Meeta ma'am to share her views regarding the presentation and move on with the question answer round.
Am I audible? Am I
Yes,
audible?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Again, another very good presentation, very well researched and excellently delivered and creatively done. You see, the interesting thing is that you walk the talk, and that is where you really score high because you walk the talk. You talked about creativity in addressing the problem of depression. You talked about the causes, the various ways of addressing it through mindfulness, through meditation, through um, accepting that you are depressed, through seeking help. But one thing that I want to underscore, and this is my message to young people, all of you there, that if you are feeling depressed and if you are getting suicidal thoughts, then please share either with the medical personnel or with your friends or with your or with a counselor or with somebody you trust. You know, it's a very momentary decision. And once the moment passes, you can actually overcome. So whenever you do get such thoughts, a lot of people do. So you're not alone. Remember that. You're not the only one who's going through a bad phase. Lots and lots of people, as we've seen in the survey, so many people actually suffer from depression without even knowing it. But fortunately for you, you all have done your research, you've studied, you've understood, and you have been part of a very vibrant group who's contributed to addressing this creatively. So full marks. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your enlightening words. Namita ma'am, please share your views regarding the presentation and any question you would like to ask from our interns.
I'm awestruck. A beautiful presentation, well woven in the thread of mindfulness. So almost every topic or every aspect was covered by you people. Through your presentation, as I was listening to you and was going through your slides, one or two questions came to my mind. First of all, I would like to understand how have you understood, somewhere you used the term tuning in. So what according to you is tuning in? Because I could not understand it through your slide or whatever explanation you gave. So what is tuning in? Because it was along with mindfulness that you clubbed it.
Would it be okay if I answer the question?
Absolutely.
Okay. So by tuning in, what we meant is that when we look at different feelings that exist in the human emotions range, they feel very differently in every individual's body. So for example, I may feel sad and it may hurt my head, but for someone else, they may feel weird in their stomach or something in their heart. So when we say tuning in, we're basically trying to understand how does that particular feeling feel within your body and what are the thoughts that it is provoking. So later it becomes easy to identify what is it that is bothering you and how does it feel in the body basically.
If you check the term tune in, means tuning means connecting. So connect inside. Throughout the pandemic, through the newspapers and through everything, everybody's been telling this, that to deal with the situation, the mental aspects, you tune in. That is, you basically go inside and connect with your real self. That is tuning in. Not going and addressing your sad feelings or so. Learn to enjoy your own company, introspect, and start loving the inner being in you. Because inwardly, each one of us is beautiful. Each one of us is full of positivity. It's only the outer environment which influences us so much that we forget our inner self, that beautiful self, and we start running out. So, according to me, tuning in is that. So because you clubbed it with mindfulness, it should have been taken up this way because throughout the pandemic, this is how it was explained. And this is how people have been using it as an exercise. I have one more question. There was a question, I think question number 9 or 10 in your survey, something to this effect, that how frequently do you feel that social media influences us? I have objections to the explanation that was given. I think the maximum section or the maximum responses were in the direction of sometimes. And the one who was, one of your interns who was explaining said that it basically triggers a feeling of jealousy. Does it, getting influenced by social media or getting more exposure to social media, does it trigger jealousy in us?
May I answer this?
Yes. I think you were the one who gave the
Actually,
explanation.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, as I said, most of the people answered with sometimes, right? So, ma'am, sometimes mean when the depressing phase comes in our mind when we get jealous most of the times, as when we are going through some crucial phase in our life.
You have to answer in relation to the social media. How does social
yes,
media?
ma'am. I am answering that. I am answering this. I am answering this only. I'm answering that when we're going through a crucial phase in our life and we're scrolling social media, for example, then when we see that others are chilling and others are having better lifestyle than us, it creates more sense of depression in us. I'm saying this. And most of the people answered sometimes. Most of the people answered always. So very few people responded it with rarely and never. But some responded with sometimes, some responded with always. So it do matter, I guess, as per the survey.
Yes, it does. It does matter, but it doesn't trigger jealousy. I didn't. Maybe you are right, but I just wanted to understand what your takeaway from the question is, or how do you people understand? Anyhow, these are just to understand how you people have understood. I must say your teamwork is wonderful. And the life skills that you people have learned have been a motivation for me too, personally. And the way you've showcased everything, it's beautiful and a very good presentation and handled well. Thank you so much. And I got lots of takeaways from it. Thank you, team. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Appreciation.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. So, at last, once again, I want to thank our jury members, mentor, and Anon team for this delightful evening and your valuable time for this wonderful session. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anon, because it is a beautiful exposure for us also and lots of takeaways throughout for us. Thank you.
Request the jury to not leave for some time, but the team can leave.